house. Uh, the second house tells us about the coordination between five organ of senses. That means how much a person can analyze whatever he is seeing or studying, whether he is capable to understand the thing by using his five organ of senses. The senses means I have to say what he is studying, whether he is realizing or not, how can he or she capable to grab the subject or not. Then comes the third house. Third house of a person actually gives us a thorough idea about the instinct of the person. In many cases, we have seen that the student is not at all interested to study, and he or she has to study, and the subject they are studying it may become boring, or they are not at all interested to study that subject. So there is some problem. It is a problem in that case. Fourth house, from fourth house we can understand how long or how much he or she can study. From fourth house we understand that the student may only can complete till the 10th standard or more. Then comes the fifth house. Fifth house tells us about the general intelligence. Fifth house tells us the general health also, because we see if someone has digestive problem and someone has also suffering from constipation, he or she cannot just concentrate their mind on study. So we have to check that the fifth house is strong, or whether any kind of problem with the planets who is controlling the fifth house. Now we have to check the sixth house. Sixth house is a house of job, and also sixth house is the house of disease. So from sixth house we understand how the person is physically fit. What I have just told in the last fifth house thing, there comes the same thing arises, whether the person is physically fit or not. For that we always suggest to do some yogas for some particular problem like digestive system or not. So from sixth house we can guess or we can understand what is the problem in his or her system, physical system, that is preventing him or her to concentrate. Then comes the seventh house. Seventh house is something that seventh house is nothing but the people living in the society other than the person. So we have to check that whether the person is studying in a proper place, or is he or she is getting the proper support from his friends or teacher, or the situation he or she within. Then comes the eighth house. Eighth house is nothing but mainly eighth house denotes many other things, like from eighth house we get the effects of hard labor. Then comes the ninth house. Ninth house is very important, because ninth house tells about the blessings of Guru, the teacher who is guiding the student, the school where the student is studying, how friendly or how dedicatedly the teacher is guiding the student, it can be calculated from the ninth house. So ninth house is very important. Building a career of a student, ninth house is very, very important. 10th house, then comes the 10th house. 10th house is the performance. Even if he or she in proper health, he or she is studying his level best, even the Guru is also very helpful The teacher is also very helpful. Even the environment is very supportive. We have to check it out, the performance, the karma of that student. If he or she not performing well, suppose you know many things, you are quite knowledgeable person, but when at the time of examination you just cannot write properly the answers, then it is not at all a very good condition, or your performance is not okay. Then you have to practice more and more. Then we will suggest that you have to practice more and more to improve your performance. After that, the 11th house has come. 11th house is that something I have studied a lot, I have done, I have tried my level best, and now I am not getting the proper number. Like 9th house, 11th house also denotes that whether the fulfillment of desire means the amount of number or score you have expected, it can be calculated from the 11th house. If the 11th house lord is not properly placed, then we have to find the remedies for it. Otherwise, even after all the conditions, all the houses is in a good position, but at the end of the day the score is not up to the mark, then there is no, it's very frustrating, I guess. So we have to find out the 11th house remedy. After that, the 12th house comes. 12th house is the house of moksha. See, you are a successful person. You have scored very well, a very good student. But even after the success, there's something we always realize, something we always must have, that is something, some sort of satisfaction. Choosing a career is also like that. From 12th house we can get an idea that the person will go to study abroad, or he must stay in his own country to have a very successful career. At the end, I must say one thing: the student must be given some liberty or freedom to choose their subject. I am requesting the parents and also the teacher, please find out in which subject, in which stream they are interested to go, or they interested to choose, because unless and until there is job satisfaction, or unless and until there is that instinct they have, you have to find it out which subject or which stream will be very choiceable for them. Because if they want to choose a career of say journalism, and you are forcing him or her to choose a career of a doctor or a IPS or something other than that journalism, then there will be less job satisfaction, there will be less happiness. And I must say one thing: if there is no happiness, there is no proper success. Thank you. Thank you very much.